So, you are in the forests behind the town. So what did you decide to call the hippogriff again?
Well, off air, Kerry and Chloe were kind of having a natter about who was able to keep it. So we went with Custard because, as it turns out, their characters now have joint custody of Custard.
Dun, dun.
Excellent. A pun that is now canonically part of my world. I thank you all so much for that.
You're very welcome.
Excellent. So you got a hippogriff called Custard. What's the plan from here?
So I think it was Nathan that suggested we take the things on the foot of the horse to make it look as though we killed the hippogriff.
Yes, and he said to burn it up a little bit, didn't you, Nathan?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Personally.
And
I mean, it
play
was
some
my
feathers?
idea. So.
Well, yeah.
Yes, maybe you should pluck some feathers from it as well.
From...
Well,
kind of
no,
looks,
I think
he looks
maybe-
over at Custard. Do you think we can find some somewhere instead of...
I was going to say,
Pulling
Like
them out
this
of-
one, I pull one off the ground.
That will do.
There we go.
Wonderful.
will Custard wait here? Stay, Custard. Does he know his name's Custard?
Fly off, it might be safer.
Because we're wanting to keep him to take him with us on the adventure to fight with us, eh?
But we can't
Custard's
we
there
can't
just there
take him
kind of
into
preening
town.
himself as you're all discussing.
We can't take him into town.
Yeah, but if we tie him up just temporarily with the idea that usually he will be a free animal, but just for now while we're training him, put a
Right.
lead on him, and then come back to him so we can do some training.
Okay. I think that could work, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, let's burn some feet and pluck some feathers and go.
Yeah, so you butcher one of the horses, you try and singe it a bit. I guess one of you's got produce flame or something.
No, just Derek, brief.
Can I
I breathe sound. I do.
can I try and start a little fire?
If you light a tinderbox and then to use your tinderbox to light a torch, that's
Yeah.
going to be quicker than starting a fire.
Okay.
So you
I'll
use
light
one-
my torch.
You use one torch. You kind of light it, singeing the bottom, same with feathers, to kind of give the impression that it was burned like the creature was. And then what you're planning to tie Custard up.
I think Custard's already tied because we just caught
Oh
him.
yeah, he's still got the rope around his neck, but tie that to a
Tied
tree.
to a tree.
Time to a tree, yeah. Just so he stays where
Can
he
I
is.
leave a little pile of berries so that they can eat it?
Yeah, you leave little pyros. Who's doing the knot tying?
I probably have a book on knot tying.
Right.
That
There's
counts.
only so many books that Zaga can have.
Well, I imagine that Zago would have
Yeah, fuck it. How many books do you want?
7.
7 books, right, okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to keep track of this. Every time you name a book you have, it's going to be from that 7. Until eventually you can't be like, I have
this book.
pretty sure I've got a book on the digestive tract of a dragon.
Just to be a nerd, she used one on herbalism or like medicines.
Yes,
in
I
the last-
remember. Thank you very much. We love a snitch.
Well, that could come under essential camping guides. That would be in the first aid section.
No, it wouldn't be.
Well, essential guide to camping. There would
But
be
you
some
didn't say you had this book on camping. You said you had a book on herbalism.
Is this the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? It's just one book that just has everything you would ever need to know in it.
If it's surviving the outdoors, it's broader but less helpful.
Like Derek.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Shut up. So if it was a book on camping, it would be really useful for camping. But if it's on the outdoors, it's a bit less specific. So you want to use the book that you've got to help you with tying a knot. Okay, so I'll let you use the book to give you advantage. So what I need from you is an intelligent sleight of hand check. Sleight of hand is not one of your skills, so it's just intelligence, so you'll get a +2 to this roll.
Oh, that was a 20 and it just slipped.
So 12.
12. So
Disgusting.
you, with your book, sticking your tongue out, kind of trying to work it out, you don't end up tying kind of like a knot around the tree. As you start to walk off, Custard kind of was like looking at the berries, kind of looks up as you're going to go away, goes, tries to pull against his rope as you start to walk away.
Well-
It looks like he's going to try and get away to get towards you.
I'm like sort of trying to like beckon him, like, no, it's okay.
Kind of beating
We'll
his
be back.
wings.
I don't want to split the party, but should I try and stay with Custard while you guys go back to town?
To be fair, the townspeople don't like me anyway. They don't like elves, so I can
Oh, they
stay.
might be quite happy if you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. That might.
You happy to
go well.
stay?
Yeah, but you better bring me my share of the gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you head back to town. You stay with Custard, who looks pretty happy with this arrangement.
petting him and
You're
feeding
kind of
him
petting him
berries.
and stroking him. You don't have to worry about the not dying. Just so you know, that result basically was going to be the DC for him to break out. So like a 12, you'd have to make a 12.
So it'd be like a contested check.
Yeah, so it would be a 12 athletics check for him to break out of that road, basically. But yes, you make your way back to town. It's not a very far walk, and you start to roll over the fields. Where are you heading when you get back?
Straight to the dude that hired us, I suppose.
Could you remind us, dear DM, what the name
Tavern.
of the dude was?
Barnabas, was it?
Yes, that was it. So Barnabas hired you, but you were kind of collectively hired by the town. They put the price up. He's basically footing the bill. So basically the reward was 10 gold and accommodation in the inn for the night. So you don't have to camp if you want, or you can move on. It's up to you. You make your way back to town. You open the tavern. It's probably been, I don't know, like half an hour, maybe an hour since you left. And they kind of turn over. They see you looking a bit roughed up. The bartender kind of looks at you and goes, "Is everything all right? How'd it go?"
We have killed a hippogriff.
The tavern cheers, roars with excitement and elation, kind of beer tankards flying in the air. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that's such a relief to the farmers. We'll be able to kind of get work going again once more. Thank you all so much. You look like you're taking a beating. Have a seat. We'll get you some food and some drink.
3 cheers for Derek.
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
I like to think the whole tavern was cheering, but just everyone else was like... Nathan gives you a tap on the back. Is like, "Come on, let's get a drink." They pay you a little coin stack of 10 gold. Hand that over. As the bartender looks, goes, "What happened to the elf? Are they all right?"
Unfortunately, she didn't make it.
She's dead. Back to the mud.
Can you give me a deception check, please?
Oh.
Do they both have to? Because they're both...
You can have advantage on it because
On my deception check.
yes.
So dirty 20. I'll roll again. Oh, or a 5. Dirty 20.
You hear from the back of the tavern a kind of "Hey!" and then shh. And the bartender goes, "I'm really sorry to hear that.
It's
Well-
okay. We'll take the body back to the university and we'll put it to work.
What?
We do medical dissections for the battles that are going on, researching
okay.
chemical warfare. To
Not
wipe out
dark
the
magic or
goblins.
anything. Not dark magic or anything.
No. Just the armor comes off and he starts peeling back since I never took it down into my business, professor's attire.
All right. Yeah, we don't really like dark magic around these parts, so... but I'm sure it's nothing. You're heroes of the town. Please, 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 have a drink. As they seat you down, people are kind of murmuring. You see actually now a few people pay for one more drink, and a lot of them start to head back out again, a bit more relaxed at the fact they can now walk the streets. You're given bowls of stew and a nice hearty ale, and you're asked, would you like to stay here tonight, or are you camping? What's your...
We're going to camp in the woods, I think, aren't we?
Oh, well, you're welcome to stay if you want, but I can understand if you want to get on the road. I'm sure you've got important business to be attending. Very few people this far north are doing anything that's mundane or easy.
Can I take a bowl of stew to go, please?
Yeah. I can put it in a war skin, I guess. It's a bit lumpy.
Squeezy stew.
Yeah. I'll chop it up a bit fine, I guess. Oh, no, I've got a jar. I'll put it in the jar and give it to you.
Thank you.
You are, like I say, you're given a meal, given a drink, and you spend some time. Nathan, whilst you're kind of enjoying your stew, says, "Right, way I see it, we're probably about 6 days out from the woods. So it shouldn't be, again, it's going to get a lot rougher once we get into those woods. But before then, we should be doing all right. If we sleep on the road again, we're kind of getting towards wilderness now. There's a few farmers graze their sheep this far north, and the occasional prospector makes their way up here. There's rumors of gold and stuff in these hills. But we probably won't meet too many people after this, and we certainly won't be in civilization after this point. This is as far north as the towns get, really. Whilst everyone else is enjoying the town, Val, are you up to anything whilst you're with Custard?
Yes. So I've been feeding Custard berries, and I'm trying to chuck them in the air one at a time to see if he can catch them.
Roll for poison berries.
Can you give me a dexterity check?
Yeah. 15.
You throw a berry in there, bonks him on the nose. You're kind of take some time. He's taking a little bit to learn it, but eventually you manage to get some stuff, but it's taken a while. It's kind of like 1 in 5 berries he's catching, and you count as a win.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the first few, you throw him in the air and then just hit him on the face, and he just looks a bit confused. But the more you do, he kind of gets used to the idea, and you again, 1 in 5. kind of thing.
Basically just doing that, and then by the time they get back, I imagine that the hippogriff's like laid down for a nap, and I've gone for like a late afternoon trance and just like leaning against his back.
Wonderful. Yeah, you have a nice bonding moment with Custard. So after a few drinks and some food, are you ready to go back to meet Valna and then get back on the road, I guess?
Yeah, I go up to them and see them, and I'm like, thank you so much for waiting. You've been so patient. Here, I brought you some stew.
Thank you. Oh, it's a bit cold, but thank you. No.
Oh, excuse me. And I pour the stew onto the ground for Custard.
I just like slip a berry into my mouth.
Custard kind of goes, and like kind of noses it with his like beak, picks out the bits of meat, pushes the potatoes to one side, and then puts his head back on the ground.
As soon as Derek turns around, I throw a berry at the back of his head.
Oh, poor Valna. Valna, if you could take a level of exhaustion for not having dinner. No, I'm joking.
I have berries.
Look at it, the last bit of civilization.
It's exciting. We get to see elf civilization
Elves of civilization?
Yes, they do, in fact.
and good hearing. So it's probably kind of late afternoon. You're getting towards evening. You probably can set off a little bit before you want to set off camp, especially if you're wanting to camp with Custard. You don't want to be in town at this time. You all set up a nice, lovely camp, and barring anything in the night, you should get a long rest.
Cool.
So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Wonderful.
I'm going to attempt to cook someone up and be someone.
Someone.
Something.
Cool, give me a survival check.
Oh, no. That's a 13.
Decent affair. Like, it's all right. You managed to get the rations you've got together, put something decent together, I suppose.
I picture go into my bag. It's something that reminds me of the university. The standard of living we are given because of our funding. Just a tin of yield spam turning into fritters.
You're all right. You have some fairly decent spam fritters. It goes together quite well. And yeah, beyond that, you have a pretty restful night, and you have an undisturbed night as well. So you all get a long rest.
Nathan,
Yes.
why does everybody look at me like that? Like all the people in all the towns. Like I've been warned that they wouldn't like elves, but I don't really get why.
When I guess enough people have been subjected to kind of like the panic, and then people talk and hear stuff that's going on. I mean, I'm sure your people are lovely, but there are groups of elves within those woods that are lethal.
I suppose people doing mean things is more noticeable than people doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the best way to chalk it up. They're just suspicious and scared. I mean, you're more likely to get it in this part, like in the countryside, than you are in cities where people are a bit more used to seeing elves. I'm sorry. It must be hard.
It's fine. It's just, a bit weird. I'm just not used to it.
Well, we shouldn't be seeing many people for a while now.
Yeah.
Should be doing all right.
I look forward to seeing how the elves look at our friend Belmont over there anyway. I think that could be interesting.
Why?
Trying to cook up the things like, come on.
The heady scent of spam fritter coming from the fire.
I certainly.
Why are they going to have a problem with him?
No, not a problem, but I think they might be a bit confused. He's a very confusing man. Don't you think so?
You see, kind of. Can you give me a insight check?
Yeah, sure. That's the 21.
Nathan kind of looks at Belmont and says, "I don't know. I think he's quite charming at times." And you see like a glint of something in his eyes as he looks over at him. I don't know. I think he's funny in his own way. He's got his mannerisms, but
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You see, Nathan goes. See. Anyway,
You're good friends, I can tell.
yeah. No, we've worked together for a while.
Yeah.
He's nice.
I didn't think he.
Just burnt my finger on the fireplace. Like, what is the
Are you all right? Have you got any of that poultice, Zaga?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got some more in a jar.
Wonderful. He grabs the ointment, takes it over to you, helps you, gives it to you to kind of cool you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Oh, he doesn't put it on for him.
No, he doesn't. He passes him the jar.
Always my knight in shining armor.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Nathan he looks a bit flustered, and he's like, "Do you guys mind if someone else takes first watch?" No.
Yeah, I'll take first watch. I can do the first two watches. Actually, I'll just have a little trance.
He goes to take a rest and closes that. It kind of rolls away from you quite pointedly. The rest of the night goes uneventfully. You start the next day, and the day is mostly uneventful. You do find that the kind of roads you were travelling up to get to the last town have kind of gone, and you're more on kind of rough dirt tracks here. There's no kind of like maintained roads here. They're not very well trodden. This is what they call almost like a desire path kind of thing. It's like just people have walked up and down it enough that there's kind of a bit of a path, but not much of one. As you continue your way north to the Agatha Woods. It's coming towards evening, probably about the time when you're going to settle down. And down the road, you can see a carriage, which is like on its side, like a cart, which is on its side, one kind of wheel spinning round. Everyone give me perception checks.
Oh, nat 20.
Nat 20.
What?
Oh my goodness gracious me.
2 nat 20s? High five. So I got a 25 in total.
I got a 4. Derek's just looking at his own reflection in his sword.
Diamond encrusted sword.
22.
Wonderful. So you're about 250 feet away from this scene, but those of you, both Belmont and Valna, you can see smoke wending its way up from the carriage. And you can also see there are 2 individuals next to the car. It looks like 2 humans from this distance. And they're kind of like, one's sat leaning against the cart, one's sat leaning against a tree. And they look exhausted kind of thing, or something. For some reason, they're kind of sitting down. Like I say, you're about 250 feet away at this
I
point.
believe this is the classic scenario for an ambush. Bear with me as I cast my armor, please, and go about the whole shebang.
Nice.
Spend my sorcery point.
The horrifying
+1.
skeleton wraps its way around your body,
the green
glowing
smoke
green.
billowing out, the skin shedding into a nice cape.
Horrifying.
Yeah, think of like a butterfly coming out of it. Well, cocoon, but kind of staying in at the same time.
Nathan says, "Do you want me to like sneak ahead? See if we can."
If you could, Nathan, that would be much appreciated.
If you,
I can come too.
yeah, if you guys want to walk towards them, and we'll stealth
Yeah,
around.
well, yeah.
Stealth check.
A 23 for my stealth.
Cool. Between you and Nathan, you managed to sneak your way kind of round. You're probably in a bit where you're kind of walking through undulating hills, but there's this kind of path is kind of lined with trees at this point. You're not in a forest, but when you go like round like the countryside and there's like trees on the other side, there's a bit of that, and you kind of stealth through the trees as you make your way up. And the 3 of you, do you just kind of approach normally?
Yeah, it's normal as a dragonborn, a half-orc, and a necromancer
Skeleton
can.
encrusted.
Could I use my divine sense as I approach to try and detect any
Yes, 100%.
funky business?
You draw on Bahamut's powers, and you do not sense any celestials, undead, or fiends nearby.
Cool.
As you and Nathan stealth up, you can see there are these 2 blokes kind of standing there. They look kind of muscular, they look kind of well built, and they look like they're wearing a set of clothes that look quite dirty. From the cart, the kind of doors are hanging open, and you can see inside mining equipment, and a empty chest that's kind of spilled out on its side. Like I say, they look pretty beaten up. So they look like they've taken scuff marks. Maybe this was
Like they've been ambushed.
Yes, exactly. The carriage has crashed. You can see if there were any horses, there aren't any more. And you can see they also just kind of look really lethargic. You can see burn marks along the side of the wagon where that kind of smoke is emanating up from. Like it never truly caught fire, but it was close to doing so. They don't seem to have noticed you as they're just kind of sitting there like nursing their wounds and looking pretty
I'll
fucked up.
turn to Nathan and like whisper to him like, I don't think it's going to be some kind of ambush. It looks like they've been ambushed. To me.
No, I was thinking the same.
I think we're all right probably to just go out, unless you think we should stay back and wait to see what they do when the others approach them.
I think that's what we're trying. I think being cautious, we'll see what they do when they
Okay,
get these guys
yeah.
going by.
So at this point, I'll walk up. Hello there, gentlemen. Are you okay?
Oh, thank the gods. One of them starts to hinge himself up and goes like, friends, have you come to save us? Did you hear about
We just happened to be passing by.
I don't suppose you found our horses, did you?
There was a couple of horses way back in the woods, but I think they were taken by farmers. I don't think they were yours.
No.
Is the hippogriff with them?
Oh, shit, yeah, where's Custard?
I've just got Custard on a lead.
Can you help us, I suppose? You're not bandits, are you? We have nothing. We've lost
Do we
everything.
look like bandits?
You stand there with your green flowing robes and skull wrapped over your head. Sorry, I'm Phil. This is my mate David. We're miners. We've been in the hills. We were kind of looking for gold. We found some, and then early hours of the morning today, we were ambushed by some creature breathing fire.
More dragons.
Well, it didn't even just breathe fire. I felt like the strength leave my muscles. Collapsed, and then it pushed over the wagon. By the time we came to again, all the kind of gold we'd found had been stolen. So I don't know what happened there, who it was, or what happened.
Strange.
If you could help us, have you got any food or anything? Just we could probably walk back from here. We're not too far from. I know there's a town down the way. We stopped on the way up, but I don't know if we can.
Friendly enough folk. I'm sure we could spare a little to get you back.
Yeah, Phil's kind of goes something kind of still about him. He's still kind of a bit with it. David's kind of absolutely wiped as Phil kind of goes, mate.
Can I do an Arcana check, see if there's any magical residue or anything I can trace back to? Have they been hypnotized? Has there been some powder used? That wasn't.
Yeah, I'd say Arcana or Wisdom. No, sorry, Arcana or Medicine would help you with this.
Let's go for Arcana.
All I've done is just
Nope,
take
that's all.
sketches and notes of everything they've
You
said.
can give me an investigation check whilst you're doing that. Take
That's
sketches.
an 11.
You don't know what this could be. You can again see the fire on the side of the wagon, and it probably lines up pretty similar to what you saw on Custard. Like the idea that there was no fire happened, but it got scorched.
The beast is attacking traders as well as
What could have called the weakest? And you're not quite sure. What did you get, Zaga?
I got a 23.
23. As you're taking sketches and you're listening to what they say, you maybe investigate the wagon a little bit. Again, you can see the kind of sides of it are singed and burned, again, in a very similar way to Custard. But you can also see claw marks upon this kind of laid open chest. So where it was previously like locked, you can see claw marks where it's kind of been ripped open. And then you can also see like teeth marks on the wood. As well as that, you can kind of see residue of fire on the wood as well, as if like whatever is biting it burned it as well. And then it's kind of empty. But you do see sat in the corner at the back of this box like a tiny nugget of gold, like tiny nugget of gold, but kind of sat at the bottom, which suggests perhaps gold was in this chest. When I say chest, I should probably it's not a huge chest. It's
Like a lockbox.
like a lockbox, yeah, kind of thing. It's probably, I don't know, size of a loaf of bread. Do you know what I mean? That kind of size.
At least it's not all gone. You've still got something left. I just point with my pencil.
Phil kind of scrabbles over and looks in. It's like, oh, thank the gods, that's I suppose something. I don't know what it is. Came in the middle, like I said, came in the early hours of the morning. We were setting off. I don't know what happened to the horses. I don't know if they've run off or what.
Can me and Nathan hear this conversation?
Yeah, you're close to the
So can we come out from the tree?
I'll
Do you reckon?
give a signal, assuming they're nearby. I'll just go.
David and Phil kind of look up, and you see they as you two kind of emerge from the woods, and they're like, "Are they with you?"
Don't worry, they were just a precaution. They're friendly enough.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I suppose you can't be too careful. We're gonna head back with this. I mean, I don't know if I have. I mean, we can try and look for our horses, but I don't know. It's been all of a day. I'm not sure we'd find it
Shall
again.
we see? At least we can put your cart right. So if you do find your horses, you can keep that.
That'd be great. Yeah.
I have something for you as well, and I passed them each a gold coin from our earnings from the last thing we did.
Oh,
There you go.
well, thank you so much. You didn't. It's really funny. There's a moment where he kind of clocks your ears, and then holds a gold, and then goes, "Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you."
It's all right. I can do without it. I don't really need that. It seems like you need it more than I do anyway.
Derek, do you think you could put those bulging biceps of yours to use and help them straighten their cart?
I'm sure I can try.
Athletics check. I'm gonna say give me with advantage because as you start to lift it up, Nathan sees and comes to give you a hand.
I'll be supervising by describing what angles will best help you get it up.
Get it up.
If anyone's going to need to help with this, it's going to be me.
Oh, you could come in and help. Yeah, awesome.
Just 14.
14. You kind of seize against it. I'm going to say 14's enough for you to start lifting it, but between, again, Nathan, Zaggy, kind of, they both come over and help you, boom, boom, kind of push it up, right? It takes a lot of effort, but you manage to do it when, like, a few more of you pile on. They help you kind of turn it around, and they're like, are any of you any good at tracking?
Yeah, I could try.
Try and find our horses?
Yeah, that's fine.
That'll be a survival check.
That'll be an 11, to be fair.
I imagine Derek's been walking around with Custard, like in circles, trying to look for horse tracks whilst leaving horse tracks. Just making a mess of the scene.
You're like, I found them. And then you see two claws in front of it. And then you turn around and you look up and you see like Custard's there.
Yeah. But this way. They're going this way. They're behind us.
So you would have struggled. So
Yeah.
with that, you can't really see the footprints, but then you notice a small trail of blood.
Okay.
And then you kind of accompanying with it, you see like, oh, perhaps they were cut, and you think you might actually see the route that they took.
Okay.
If you'd like to.
I can see a bit of like the footprints aren't really showing. Like there's also a lot of other footprints and horse hoof prints somehow. Look over at Derek, just charging around on all the bits that I'm trying to track. But I can see some blood here, and it looks like it drips off in that direction. So we could follow it and see. Though I worry if you've been attacked by a creature, maybe the creature's taken them.
We can walk back though, if not. But if you can find them, I'd really appreciate.
Well, we can always have a look.
Could I
Right?
go over to the men and just, with Custard as well, are you telling us the entire truth?
Yeah, what do you think I've missed out? We wouldn't lie to you. What have I got to lie about?
And can I use my psionic mind to send a message into their minds that just says, I'd know if you were lying.
Oh no, these poor men.
Kind of like, again, David's kind of on the floor with a bit of a stupid, but Phil's kind of a bit silly. And as you kind of do that, they both kind of look at you in fear and like stagger back. I swear, we just lost. I'm not lying to you. I promise. I wouldn't. Insight.
An insight check, okay. I got an 18.
18. They seem to be down through. They're just scared of you now. Like they were kind of like really welcome, and now they're like a bit worried. They're like, we would never lie. Absolutely not. No, we've nothing to gain. We've lost everything.
I trust you.
Let's follow the
They kind
trail
of-
of blood. It's the least we can do.
Take a deep exhalation when you say that. Wonderful. You start to make your way through the woods. I'm going to say after maybe about 15 minutes, it's kind of starting to get dark, and you're getting to the point where you're going to want to set up camp soon. Otherwise, it's going to be like you're not going to be able to set it up very well. Would you, after 15 minutes, would you keep looking, or would you be like, we can't find them, we're going to turn around and set up camp?
I reckon we should set up camp. We can't find it in this dark. I can cast light, but it doesn't extend to an entire forest range.
I have dark vision. I could have a little, whilst you guys set up camp, I can have a little scout
Yeah, see
a little further.
Is anyone else going with Zaga?
Yes,
I'm gonna set up
you're
camp.
aware.
Sorry, you're going to set up camp. Is that so? Just like go by yourself.
Zaga, could you try and do some hunting while you're out to feed Custard?
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Do you not have a book about it?
No, I do not have a book on hunting.
You're closely guarding these books. Funnily enough, Morgan, I have a book for this exact trap. Cool. You continue to track. Eventually, after another 15 minutes, you find the horses. They're kind of grazing in a little copse nearby. You can see one of them's got like a wicked kind of scratch down their flank, but they mostly seem fine and they're grazing.
If I cast command, does it...
You can just make an animal handling check.
Yeah, all right, let's do that.
Cool.
Let's do that.
What'd you do?
I just try and very silently and carefully try and walk up to them and try and like stroke them so they know
You want to
that...
sneak up on the horses?
Well, no, like facing
Yeah,
them.
that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
In
no,
front of them, just kind of extend my hand out and just slowly but lightly tread towards them so they know I'm not going to like
Wonderful. Yeah, give me an animal
bound
handling
up
check.
to them. It's a 5.
The horses kind of turn around and they kind of like scrape their hooves along the ground, letting out a kind of noise as you get too close.
Okay, I stop. I pull out a pasty.
How many pasties do you have left?
Quite a few.
Oh, fair.
I'm keeping track of pasties.
I currently have, minus this one, 11.
Oh, wow.
Still.
I don't know how good a pasty will be for a horse.
Well, I mean,
We'll
they're
give
not going to eat
I've
it
seen
just
that-
to entice them.
I've seen horses eat worse things than a pasty. So if you could give you advantage on this on the check.
That's a dirty 20 for that one.
Beautiful.
And that's a 4.
Nice. Dirty 20 is enough. As they kind of like get like kind of pissed off at you, you bring out your pasty and they look a bit more intrigued and they come over to you. Maybe have a little munch at the pastry and they allow you to grab their reins.
And I still hold the pasty in front of them as I'm kind of like walking with them, just so.
Yeah, you can see they're kind of
keep 'em
extending their heads,
preoccupied.
like trying to bite the pasties.
Like the lips poking out. Like.
Yeah, like.
Have you
yeah.
seen when the horses just say, nim, nim?
Yeah, I'm picturing the fucking thing like Squid from SpongeBob, where his like teeth go out like really far.
Creeps me out.
You start to guide them back to where they came from. Again, it is well and truly quite dark at this point. But whilst you're leading them back, you and Nathan can set up camp. Do you guys want to help them?
I'm going to provide some light.
No,
I
Sarah's
can
helping.
use my. Can I use my inspiration to get?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm also acting as a lighthouse for Zaga.
Wow, keep your fantasies to yourself. So.
I take it it's survival. Sorry.
Yes, it's
21.
Yes, you're getting a long rest, basically. Tonight will be fine. Eventually, after half an hour, there's a fire going, food being cooked. David and Phil are pretty happy for the fire. Zagra emerges from the trees, leading 2 horses with a pasty. The 2 kind of look up with like a massive smile on their face, like, the gods have looked kindly on this day. Thank you so much.
One of them looks pretty hurt, so you may want to take a day or so to rest, let it heal before trying to work him too hard.
Well, would you mind if we camp? Well, we'll
Yeah,
sleep
I
in our
guess.
wagon, but
Ooh.
we'll stay nearby tonight.
Would I have some of that poultice left?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I might have something that it won't heal them, but it will help soothe them. It worked on Big Bird over there.
Big Bird. Oh, the hippogriff. You probably can see they've probably been looking quite nervously at the hippogriff the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, please be my guest.
Don't worry about Custard. Absolute dreamboat.
Custard kind of looks up with, that like dead look in their eyes that birds have. They just kind of twizzle their head really quick. Goes, there's like a look like,
See?
yeah, cool.
Look how cute he
Can I
is.
throw another berry?
Yeah,
Like,
go.
I'm still trying to train him.
Good, give him a dexterity check. Lands right between his eyes, and after it hits and lands on the floor, it goes to try and bite it. After it hits the floor, it looks cross-eyed and pecks it off the ground.
We're still working on that one. Good job, Custard. Good try.
I'll
Scratch
rub
the ground a
some
little bit.
poultice onto the horse, and I'll also rub some onto Custard, because I imagine that
Yeah.
he's not fully healed yet.
The
So.
horse kind of seems a bit panicked, but as you kind of rub it on, kind of calms down a little bit. You can see perhaps you'd think perhaps the horses would be quite scared of a hippogriff, but there seems to be a familiarity between the fact there's a bit of horse there, so they're kind of a bit kind of calm around them, and they kind of settle down. And I said, David and Phil kind of join you for the evening as you set up camp.
David and Phil, what happened to the rest of your camping companions?
No,
The
it's-
miners.
It's just us 2. We're brothers, basically. Long story short, we heard, obviously, with the forestry that's going on to the Agatha Woods, there's been rumours of like good prospecting sites in the hills, essentially. Well, funnily enough, we were coming to prospect, coming to look for somewhere to find gold. Stumbled across a lockbox full of gold.
Oh, so that wasn't yours?
No, we didn't mind that. We just found it. Well, David found it kind of half in the dirt, and we dug it out.
How far away?
Maybe a couple of days north of here. And it was just kind of sad. It looked like it had fallen almost. Found it in the woods, picked it up, took it back.
Do we reckon it's fallen from great height, perhaps from some claws or talons of big flying angry lizards?
There is potential.
Like a dragon?
Dragon? David kind of looks, so it's like, no, it wasn't a dragon, was it?
I don't know.
The dragons around here?
Well, we don't know if it's a dragon, but some flying, fire-breathing creature has done harm to Custard here. And by the sounds of it, it's done harm to your cart and your horse as well. Something is very territorial, and something is not happy about us being in its territory.
And whatever it is, it seems to like gold.
Perhaps it used to have its lair in where the hobgoblins are fighting the army, and it's moved to greener pastures.
They kind of look at each other. It's like, do you think we should set off now?
I wouldn't. You're in the dark. At least if it comes to you now, you can see it coming.
Well, I think we've got
Well,
good cover
in
under the
morning.
trees as well.
I mean, we can watch if you want. I mean, I feel like we need a...
I can watch, don't worry.
You okay?
Yeah,
We'll probably sleep in the wagon. Thanks for riding it. Okay, that's scary.
don't worry. I mean, what are the chances that we'd find a dragon in this big world?
Sweet dreams.
They kind of stand up. You can see Phil kind of hoists David up a little bit and ambles over. We're probably going to catch some shy now. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much. He, in fact, takes the little nugget of gold and hands it to, I guess, whoever's the closest, probably to you, Val, and I hand you the nugget of gold. So please take this.
Thank you.
It's the least we can do. We're going to catch some sleep. Who's taking watches?
I assume Banya's taking
I will
first
take the
watch
first
again.
two again.
Yep.
I'll take a watch.
Yep.
I'll take a watch.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Derek, you're on watch with Valna. Can you please give me a strength saving throw?
12.
9.
You both feel a warm breeze blow over your backs. And as you feel it kind of sink over, your heads go slightly dizzy, and you feel the strength from your arms and your bodies kind of sap away. Your armor feels heavy on your body. Even your clothes start to feel weighty. You kind of, brace, grab weapons, and they feel heavy in your arms. You, Valna, hear